Hello everybody and welcome to my Let's Read, aka Let's Read a Fanfic. This fanfic's name is Lone Survivor, made by my friend from the forum named Team Kenny Always, and his name on fanfiction site is The Walking Dead Gamer Kenny's Bro. Let's begin. Welcome back, old friend. Molly squeezed the handle of her ice pick tightly in her grasp, while her other hand stroked the silver blade. I'm not losing you again, I'll make sure of that. Hilda made the apocalypse a lot easier. She had gotten Molly out of many countless sticky situations, not to mention saving her ass when coming face to face with a geek. Hilda was a weapon you couldn't live without. Why else would she have braved the streets of Crawford again? Molly adjusted the strap of her backpack, which was swung over her shoulder, and glanced back at the skylight, looking down into the school and the geeks wandering aimlessly in search of food, their moans and groans imminent. She turned back to the view of Crawford, taking in the morning air into her lungs and feeling the cool breeze rush through her short blonde hair. I'll be glad to see the back of this place for good. She lifted her hand and brushed her fringe away from her eyes, fastening into the place with her green hair clip. She then kneeled down and tied her shoelaces, double knotting them on her brown boots. She straightened her back and squinted at the bright glow of the new day approaching on the horizon. Time to get back into my routine. Now that I'm on my own, things can run smoothly again. It's for the best anyway. I prefer to look at myself as a lone wolf, a lone survivor. Molly juggled Hilda in one hand before sprinting across the school rooftop, pushing herself off the edge and leaping into the unknown. I miss you. Molly stared longingly at the crumpled picture of her dead sister. She clutched it tightly in her sweaty hand, scrunching it up only slightly and pulling it close to her heart. She swallowed and clenched her jaw. Cut the shit, Molly. There's no time to get sentimental. She cursed herself for getting upset. She put the picture of her sister in her backpack and brought her attention back to the task at hand. Having Hilda back had made getting out of Crawford much easier compared to getting back in. She was now standing on a tall building, surrounded by the familiar city of Savannah, which had fallen into ruin due to the apocalyptic world. A cloudy haze of dust had been kicked up by the numerous geeks below her feet. Savannah's more dead than I once thought. There's so many of them. Overwhelmed by the sheer amount of geeks, Molly took a step back, almost stumbling. Don't get yourself so worked up. You've dealt with geeks before, you can handle this. You're a survivor and no amount of geeks is going to change that. Feeling more confident, Molly took in her surroundings. She knew Savannah like the back of her hand and knew exactly where she had and hadn't searched and what bell towers to ring and where. There was bell tower not far from her current location. In fact, she could already see it on the horizon, tinted by the musty haze. Molly whistled the familiar tune she had once played through headphones in the pre-apocalyptic days and sprinted across the building and jumping across the gap and launching it onto the second building with Hilda and pulling herself up. I'll be there in no time, she thought to herself as she parkoured towards the bell tower. Looks like I was right. Molly gazed up the rusty bell, the sheen which had once filled the air. She wandered off to the rope and grasped at it with both hands. She was about to ring the bell and let the dead swarm the tower when another sheen filled the quiet streets of Savannah. What the? Molly exclaimed out loud and quickly moved towards the edge of the bell tower, turning on foreboding sound. Someone's using my technique. But who? She murmured. But who? Molly paused and folded her arms. Lee? No help. The warning painted on the hospital wall was haunting, sending shivers down Molly's back as she studied the bell tower that had been swarmed by geeks. She wasn't even sure why she was here. There was no point hanging around as there was nothing to see but miles and miles of tall buildings and that never-fading cloud of dust. The bell sheens that had ceased to exist as soon as she arrived, and whoever had been there were long gone. Why am I here, looking for a group that I walked out on only a few hours ago? I should just forget about them. They're not my problem anymore. But if it was them, then why they why were they here? Why weren't they with the boat? I thought they were going down to the river unless her train of thought was interrupted as she heard the sounds of the doors rattling at the base of the building, the geeks trying to break in. As she gazed down, she noticed a ladder lying on the road, probably fallen from the building, taking out a few geeks when it collided with the ground, unless something happened. Molly marched over to one side of the bell tower and stared down towards the nearby streets and towards the manor where Lee and his group had been staying. Maybe I should check on them, see if they're okay. No, they're not my problem, not anymore. They'll be fine. They always are. No matter what happens, they make it through. What if they're not? What if they need help? What if they need me? I can't. I walked it on their own, out on them, out on them. I can't go back. That's in the past now. I need to look forward to a life of my own. She turned away from the view of the streets and made a move to jump to the nearby building. When she glanced back, I could just drop in, just a visit, make sure they're all okay, make sure that I'm worrying over nothing. Not that I'm worried about them, but still I just need to make sure. Yeah, that's what I'll do. She turned towards the hospital and sprinted across the bell tower and leaped across the large gap, gripping with Hilda and pulling herself up. She noticed a fire exit at the end of the building, an easy route down. You never know, they might need me. They can't survive without me after all, she thought smugly. No, 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 no! This can't be. This isn't possible. I only left a couple of hours ago. Molly gazed up at the manor and at the geeks which wandered aimlessly in search of food. They were everywhere. The house was completely infested, crowded, all of them crammed together in a closed indoor space. Well, we're gonna put an end to this part. See you guys in the next part.